send you on your phone a plugs thing.
Right.
Why don't you send it to me so I can say them?
Yeah, send it to her. Put it in between the covers chat,
Okay.
and we'll decide.
Do we want to try doing it for the first time now in the middle of the podcast?
Sure, just like give me a like when you want us to plug.
Okay. I'll do this for a plug.
Why don't you just like, since you don't have a mic, go plugs.
I mean, I guess I could do that. I guess that's a sensible option. All right. You talking to your mic?
I'm talking into my mic.
Ophelia?
What?
Okay, perfect. Here we go.
You're running through the darkness.
Good evening, everyone. This is Between the Covers podcast, and I'm your hostess, Nyx.
And I'm Ophelia.
And boy, have we got some good shit for you. I don't know. Actually, good is a relative term, I believe. So we'll let you guys be the judges. I think we should slither our way right into things. So this week we read Her Tentacle God, which is hyphenated, by the way. Just like, please notice, Tentacle God is hyphenated. By Amber Foy, who is proving to be quite an elusive little lady. We can't find anything about her anywhere. Everywhere that I checked, which was like Amazon, Goodreads, her personal website, no personal information. Literally, they all have the same two sentences, and they are Amber. What's like Amber Foy loves to play with. Oh, Amber Foy likes to play with monsters. Who doesn't? And honestly, if I wrote this sort of extremely niche fetish erotica, I probably wouldn't put my face out there on the internet either. I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure at least tentacle things are not very niche.
No,
I
you
feel
don't
like
think-
that's-
so. Like let's say we went out to like a bar in the neighborhood, and we were taking a survey of everybody in the bar, and we just went up to random people, and we were like, "Excuse me, sir or madam, we're having a survey done. Do you or do you not enjoy tentacle porn?" I
Well-
feel like most people are going to be like,
Okay.
No.
But some people may not know until they actually experience it. I discovered some things about myself when I was reading this, so
Yeah,
maybe give
I think you're just a little deprived at the moment.
depraved or deprived.
Why not both? Honestly.
I'm definitely deprived, but I might be a little depraved as well.
I don't know, might.
We'll see.
Probably. Yeah, anyway, it's not just the tentacle stuff, though, to be honest with you. It's like the bestiality stuff. Where,
her other stuff.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, as Amber Foy, I might also be like, I just wrote a trilogy about a girl getting fucked by horses, so maybe I'm not going to put my face on this book that I wrote, which is definitely not written under my real name.
Now that is a niche market.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe some people just don't know until they see some horse penis, you know? No, I agree. I don't think that.
Tentacles are one thing, but
Right,
horses,
right. That's not real. That's completely manufactured in your mind. Whereas horse penis is definitely a real thing. Because we have baby horses to prove it. But there's like orc. She did an orc series.
Oh, she did an orc series.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Actually, it's a pretty popular thing in the like fantasy erotica world for whatever reason.
Orcs?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get the appeal.
What about elves?
Elves have been done to death and back again. Honestly.
Right, because
they're hot.
wouldn't you pick an
whatevs.
elf over an orc any day?
I don't know. I feel like maybe there's a certain like type of female who's maybe intimidated by masculine beauty. And so they're like, oh, well, like, I want, the kinds of girls who are like, I like the big, like, burly lumberjack kind of stereotype.
Oh, they're intimidated by beautiful men, you're saying?
Masculine beauty, yeah.
Which is what you would call an elf.
Right.
Beautiful.
Or, like, even androgynous beauty. It depends on the world, right? Like, the lore. But I'm just saying, I think, like, like fantasy erotica hipsters who are like, oh, I'm so over elves. Like,
Is this a hipster? I feel like romance is not a hipster thing.
I don't know, unless it's like,
is it?
Maybe romance novels for hipsters are like, Amy, spelled AIMEE, was at the like junk market when she saw him across the rusted bicycle frames. And then it's like Jonah like is in town from his family's Amish farm and like looking at blah blah blah. I don't know. I lost the train of thought.
Even hipsters don't want to read about beta males.
But they are all beta males.
Right. But no.
They probably don't even realize it. They're probably just
Maybe?
like, whoa, this dude likes antiquing too? Rad. Let me twirl some like mustache wax into my pointy mustache.
and bird watching. But
yeah, but you're
I don't
want to
read a romance about that.
Okay, well, but you're weird.
Let's tap into the hipster romance market and make it a thing. Like, no one likes romances, so
Dude,
now
his
you
bulging
hipsters
muscles
must like
barely covered by his rolled up flannel sleeves. Like,
Okay, come on.
what?
Bulging muscles with flannel sleeves?
Yeah, and
That sounds
and
pretty
his
nice.
live, laugh, love tattoo on his forearm.
No, you ruined it.
Okay, maybe like a mustache tattoo on the inside of his wrist.
How about a real mustache?
Well, yeah, he probably has one of those too, but with the waxed ends. But I'm talking about like, he's got his like sleeves rolled up to like here. He has like a pack of American Spirits tucked into this like rolled up sleeve
Yeah,
part.
maybe he's got bulging muscles.
And he's
with the
got like,
veins
like a
popping.
nice meaty forearm with like one of those mustache with a monocle tattoos right there because he's a hipster. And you're just like, oh my God, I have the same tattoo. It's on my ass. And then like, I don't know, they like make love in an antique bed frame from like circa the early
that they found in the trash.
American Gothic. Yeah, like after a romantic meal of like dumpster diving for like, I don't know, some shit.
They're freegans.
We are really avoiding talking about this book, aren't we?
Okay, if this was written better, it'd totally be my thing.
If this was written, okay, I feel that this is very, very lazy.
It is.
Because, guys, it's 26 pages long.
First of all, and in those 26 pages, she couldn't even be bothered to Google like an archaeological site and spell it correctly.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, but like the beginning of it started off really interestingly, right? Like it was captivating. I was sort of suckered in. I'm like, whoa, cool. Alien temple. Like you're, checking it out. But
Right, but it's an alien temple. First of all, she's like she's automatically assuming, oh, these are serpents. I'm looking at this design work. It's definitely snakes. It's definitely serpents. She's just
and there's a
assuming right
lot
away
of
without
snaky imagery.
it maybe snake-like imagery, but she's supposed to be a scientist or archaeologist, or what is she? But she is just assuming, oh, these are snakes on here. And then they just assume, oh, this must be a terraforming.
I mean, we don't know what the context is or context.
Context. Uh-oh. Do you have any more whiskey? It's coming out.
I'm deeply humiliated. No, we don't know what the context is. Like, how much do they know about this planet? How much have they been researching it? We're just sort of dumped right in as the first person is going down onto the surface to explore. So,
but when she learns a little more, you see that the assumptions she was making are wrong.
Oh yeah, of course. But I'm just saying, like, there's again very little background
How
that's
much can you
happening.
really do in 26 pages?
That's my point, though. Like, it starts off well enough, and the descriptive imagery is decent enough to give me the idea that this person, like, wants to be considered as a serious writer. But if you want to be considered as a serious writer, you have to write more than 26 pages. I've written fucking fan fictions that were 26 pages long.
Yeah, but she also has a ton of novellas.
I know, but they're all 26 pages long, and then they're like $1.99 each. I mean, whatever. You know, maybe it's lucrative. Maybe she's doing well off of it. I hope so. Good for you, Amber Foy. However, like, I just think you could have gone so many different places with this. You could have expanded so much more.
And I'm not believing we're reading about scientists and astronauts and any first they're scanning this new world and they're like disappointed that there's only a few bugs. That's awesome and exciting. There's bugs there, right? There's life.
Right.
There's life on this planet, and they're not.
Well, I mean, but were they expecting something greater because of another artifact that was
Well,
found
and then they
somewhere
find
else?
the structure.
Right. But I mean, I'm getting the feeling that they know that it used to be teeming with life, that it used to be like a fertile planet, and
Right, but there's
they've reached
still
it.
bugs there, so there's still life.
There would still be cockroaches here if like nuclear war destroyed the planet. Like, yeah, bugs are always gonna survive because they're gross and creepy. I feel very unsatisfied. Like, okay, this bitch, Chloe, what's her name?
Chloe
Baruch.
Baruch.
Baruch. Baruch is what I would estimate. But she's like, oh, I'm the youngest member of this astroarchaeological team.
She's got dark skin.
Yeah,
She's
that's
skinny.
That's all we know about
That's
her.
it.
That's all we know. And her name's Chloe.
Chloe.
And she's probably considered herself up to this point to be asexual because she makes mention of never having had any sexual attraction
But
to
she
any
likes
person.
knowledge. Oh wait, I related to this part. Hold on.
But she's a virgin, that's my point. Like a virgin, youngest member of an astroarchaeology team. She's being allowed to be the first person down on the planet. Like,
That's what I was thinking too. She's new to it.
yeah.
And they send her down alone, and she takes her
her
mask
suit off. No, she takes her whole suit off.
Well, she gets naked.
Yeah, she takes the whole suit off.
Right. In this
Which is ridiculous. It's completely
just
preposterous.
Don't take any
I mean, I can see once you get a readable or a reading on your atmosphere
But,
measurement
like
system, whatever.
Human technology is flawed. You can't trust it. What if there's something that's not that they don't know to test for? That can kill you immediately. She's like, I feel all right. Ooh, it's getting warm in here. Ooh,
I better
it's getting wet in
strip
here.
off of
Ooh,
all of
the
my
air
fucking...
is so warm and wet. Look at these serpent terraforming things.
I don't know. There was a lot of snake analogies happening.
Right.
Like, what is it? It's like, I had my own serpents writhing about in my belly. This was my first survey, and no other human had ever set foot on this planet. There's like several...
No other human ever set foot, and they send the new girl down.
I know. It's such bullshit. And then they have like a bit of like playful banter between her and her like shipmates. The air is clear and fresh. I can confirm no harmful pathogens. I mean, I guess that's like pretty sciencey. I believe that. But then she starts getting like turned on just by these like snake carvings. And she's like, oh my goodness, I'm aroused. Moisture's increasing. Like, then, yeah, if I was right, I bit my lip, my belly filled now with happily rolling snakes. Because if I was right, this was a major discovery.
Obviously.
I mean, isn't it a major discovery anyway? She's like trying to remind herself to be calm and professional. Then she's like, oh, fuck, I'm aroused. What happened? I don't understand. And like...
Oh, the only thing I ever got even remotely excited about was knowledge. It had been the standard joke since others found interest in sex, and I didn't.
Yeah, that's the wrong... Like, there should not be an apostrophe in others.
Well, I
know. I'm just
like,
adding on to the sentiment there of just being like, really? Like...
knowledge is great, But so is sex.
Right.
But obviously she likes. Well, we'll get there.
Right. So then she like tries to play it off as just being like aroused because of archaeological nonsense. And then I highlighted this. Yes, I was a wanton slut for a nice bit of stonework.
I was
like
just about to say that.
that is pretty intense there,
That
lady.
is funny.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
funny,
that.
but
Like,
it's
that's a
just
good
like-
line. Don't you like some nice stonework?
And then she's like, that's probably why I want to stroke it, because I'm like aroused by it.
I don't know about getting aroused, but I'd be so excited by the stonework.
Yeah, but sexually excited? Probably not. I mean, you might, I don't know, I've heard of certain things like when you're feeling an emotion very, very strongly, it's like likened unto the sort of endorphin release you get when you have sex. And so,
Right, but it's different.
I mean, I think it's the same endorphin release. It's just triggered by something different.
Right. It's an exciting.
So, like, you don't
Adrenaline
have
rush.
the association with the physical aspect of having sex with something that you get excited about, like knowledge or people who collect stamps, I guess. I don't know.
Are you a wanton slut for a nice bit of stonework?
Not stonework.
I like metalwork,
Uh,
paintings, leatherwork. I don't know about
I like
stonework.
artifacts. Just like
Yeah.
looking at ancient artifacts and thinking about like the person who made this artifact could not have known that 5,000 years after they created this artifact that was just like for daily use, like, oh, I need, a hammer. I'm going to make one. Like, here's my little mallet hammer.
Yeah.
And they just use it because that's what they need. And they never think that like 5,000 years in the future, everybody, like people are going to be coming from all over the world to like stare at this thing that like they made just because they needed it, right? Like,
Why would they even bother to consider it? Did they find ancient hammers and get excited about
well, what if like cavemen and shit found like
cavemen and shit?
cavemen and shit, dude? What if they found like dinosaur skulls and fossils and things like that? Well, yeah, I mean, you have to imagine that might be where the legend of dragons came from. It's
Yeah.
like someone was like mining and they were like, yo, I found this skull and it's scary and the teeth are like this fucking long. Like, what is it? They're like dragons.
Yeah.
Fuck.
totally dragons.
All right. Anyway. Yeah, so she just keeps walking into this tunnel, into this terraforming structure, and stripping her clothes off as she goes. She's
How
like,
do they know it's for terraforming? Is it terraforming?
I don't know. I have no idea like why
Why
they
are
think
they
it's
automatic?
terraforming.
Because they learned that word and they were thinking, or Amber watched Prometheus or something. It's like, oh, they're totally terraforming.
Right, yeah. she's
Right.
like-
That sounds like a cool space alien word, right?
She watched Stargate for like the first time and she was like,
Doesn't matter. The idiots who read my books won't even know the difference.
Yeah, and then
At least her nipples budded and didn't pebble like usual. I hate that so much.
but that like I don't like that though. If your nipples bud, because then it's like when are they gonna flower? Are they just gonna be like like open up? Like that's gross. No, like pebbling makes more sense because a pebble is small and
I
hard.
hate it though.
Like a bud, I don't know. It's okay. It doesn't bother me, but I'm not bothered by pebbled either. If that makes sense. Yeah, and then she starts feeling like air caressing her body.
Why would a terraforming device want to seduce a skinny brown woman?
This place plays with your head. Yeah, and then
Oh, she's like, oh, I want to activate this structure. I'm just going to take all my clothes off and I'm going to touch it.
there was like a
Definitely
gold
scanning me.
mound in like the middle of the room, and it's like shining and warm and
Oh, the gold mound.
yeah, and she
2
wants to
meters
like
across.
touch it. Like that's the impulse in her mind is like, ooh, I want to go touch it. And then like the thing
I get it.
blows air across her clit because she's totally naked now. She's like, I'm on an alien planet and this is my first expedition and I should just probably take my clothes off, right? Because that's what professional
clit's hanging
scientists
out?
do. Maybe she's like got her legs spread and she's like Supermaning.
Her team back on the ships watching on their cameras and listening.
Well, I mean, can they be watching?
Or
I
did
mean,
they
she's
lose?
taken her like suit and stuff off. And maybe the connection's not going anymore. Like, maybe the clothes are just like on a pile on the floor so the camera's covered up or something.
Well,
We have questions, Amber Foy, okay?
her team must be panicking. Like, what are you doing, Chloe? Why are you
Chloe,
taking your
Dr.
suit off?
Baruch, Dr. Baruch, what's wrong?
Dr. Baruch. Oh, here comes the tentacles.
Oh, well-
Pale blue-gray against the deep brown of her skin.
That is not an attractive color.
And anyway, the picture on the front's definitely a black guy and not
Yeah,
a
totally.
blue-gray tentacle man.
Totally. Well, that's probably at the end. So, like, snakes writhe across it.
What are you gonna do? What do you want? A pure seeker of knowledge.
Not snakes, Chloe Baruch. Tentacles. Like, oh, okay. Well, fuck me, right? What do you want? A pure seeker of knowledge. What does that mean? What are you? Artificial, organic, a combination of both? What is this place? Are you a device? I'm sorry. Would you really have time to get all of those fucking questions out if you're being held against your will by some tentacles? I mean,
She
props
likes
to
it.
her. Props to her, man. She got, you know,
And she's a little nervous, so she's like, what are you? Organic? Device?
artificial, organic.
Right. I think she'd have time to
She
get all
got
those.
7 questions off.
I think she'd be able to get those. She's got adrenaline rushing. She's going quick. She's nervous.
Well,
get all
she
the
also
questions rushing
seems to feel the need for them to hurry up as they're slowly twining up.
Well,
up
she's
her
getting
legs.
excited, and she's like, "Come on, tentacles, go where you need to go."
I am the serpent bearer, Sar. It's like a terrible name. I'm sorry. Sar. Like SARS. I don't know. Sayar. No, there's no apostrophe in the middle. I feel like the apostrophe would allow you to break up the 2 A's like Sa'ar. But it's just 2 A's in a row and it just makes you want to go Sar. Sar.
Sorry.
Yes. And then she squeals.
It had a mouth. A fucking mouth.
Well,
A
first of
small
all, no,
suckered
hold
hole.
on. First, something's like nudging up against her between me down there. And then some more come up and start like flippering at her nipples, I guess. And then that's when they have the mouth and they like attach themselves to her nipples. And she chokes on a scream, which is good for her, I guess. I don't know. Actually, it's probably bad. But then she gets really turned on by it. And you're like, okay, sure. Why not, right?
Yeah, she suddenly chokes on a scream. Is that a good scream or a bad scream? I feel like it's implying it's something bad, but that's the only negative feeling she has throughout this entire interaction.
Oh, and apparently while it's latched onto her nipples, it's like feeding images of like 10,000 years before into her brain, which is like, how?
Oh, of Gobekli Tepe, which is spelled wrong.
Oh.
It's Tepe.
Tepe, yeah.
It could be a typo.
Maybe she just ripped it off. But I don't know. I feel like she would need to put something that was,
Well, Gobekli is spelled right, but Tebe, it's supposed to be Tepe. It's in Turkey.
oh, Jesus Christ.
But if that's going to be the one name you throw out, at least
Spell it
Google how to
right.
spell it properly.
Right, yeah. All right. We're going to break it up really quickly and do our plugs now so you motherfuckers don't tune out while we're trying to read our plugs at the end. But then we'll rejoin the story very, very quickly. So if you'll give me your attention momentarily. As always, we want to thank you for listening to Between the Covers. We have a lot of fun doing this podcast, and we love hearing from you guys. So we encourage you to post on our Facebook group or retweet us or join our community any way you want. We have some super fun guests coming up, which is awesome. Brandon Valley from the Dead Last podcast, which is a horror podcast, will be coming in February. And then we have a few other comedians and podcasters we're trying to lock down. Also, I know I mentioned this last time, but we are being brought to you by the newly formed Bastard Network. All the social media will be launching at the end of the month, and we're psyched to be part of this family of podcasts. Currently, we have the Bastard Sermon Podcast, the STC Podcast, Between the Covers, and the Elliot from Boston Podcast. as well as a few YouTube shows coming, and several other podcasts we'll be announcing in the coming months. We'd also like to thank our sponsors at Havoc Mead and Grinful Meadery. They're going through a new move to their new facility, and they make the best mead ever. And we're really happy that they endorse us, so yay! Thank you, Havoc Grinfell. They're run by super down-to-earth, cool people, and they gave us these awesome glasses. Can you see that? Scorch? Cool. You can find them in Vermont and Mass.
And I think
Maine now as well. And I think they're working on New Hampshire and New York and just sort of getting themselves out there. So I'm Nyx. You can find me at my personal Instagram account above my head. Obviously, we are to be found at Between the Covers Podcast on Facebook, at Between the Covers Podcast on Instagram, at Between_Covers on Twitter, and obviously we have our email address, betweenthecoverspodcast@gmail.com. And Ophelia, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. Above my head is an Instagram account that does not exist. Good luck.
Did you delete it?
I deactivated. I had 5 different accounts.
Okay.
Follow me at diebaumfrau on Instagram. If you can't figure out how to spell it, too bad.
That's
I don't need you.
The tree lady in German.
The tree woman.
Same thing, dude.
I'm not you. I guess I am.
Okay. That kind of conversation is best saved for off air. Cool. So thanks for bearing with us. I promise I'll get a lot better at that. It's just a lot of new information to take in, but we're excited that you guys are going to be a part of that with us. So, moving on. Where were we, Ophelia?
Oh, let me tell you. I gasped, stunned, desperate to hold on to these images. Oh wait, no, we got past that.
Right. The thing is feeding her
She's
images
seeing-
of the past through nipple transfusion.
Amber Foy watched Ancient Aliens and then wrote this.
Watched some tentacle hentai, and then was like, I'm gonna write a story. So she's like, wait, I recognize this horribly misspelled.
Oh, here. This is definitely Prometheus.
She says, she's like, I recognize that stuff. You were there. And then he's like, yes, I'm the driving force that pushed them. I'm their godlike creature.
They're the engineers.
They're
and
the
they
engineers of
farmed
humanity.
wild weed. This is straight out of She watched Prometheus and Ancient Aliens and was like, I'm going to write a romance about this.
All right. And then he's like, oh, well, I can show you more historical images, but you're going to have to let me claim you. Let me have you. You're untouched cunt. Let me fuck you.
Ancient tentacle monster aliens talk.
Apparently so.
Let me.
And she's being seduced. She's like, oh, man, to know everything. I want that. Yes. She's like, whatever. I'm a virgin, but you can do whatever the fuck your freaky tentacle arms want to do.
Right. And Freaky Tentacle Man, in his world, has a sense of virginity and untouchedness.
Untouched cunts.
Right. Oh, you're
But then she screams because a monstrous cock slams into her cunt.
Wait a minute.
Breaking through her innocence.
Is it really a monstrous cock or is it a monstrous tentacle?
I mean,
that
it's like
is shaped
a
like
tentacle penis. It's like there's a difference, I guess. If you look it up.
But why
like,
say monstrous cock if it's a tentacle?
Because it's like a tentacle that's shaped like a cock.
Oh, it does give her seeds, so it probably is some kind of cock-like appendage.
I don't know. It's like an aloe vera plant that's just gelatinous on the inside, and when you squeeze it, goo comes out.
And it's really good for burns.
It's so good for your skin. Just trust me.
I have an aloe plant. I use it on my sunburns.
Okay. Woo! Yeah, and then it's only after it's shoved its tentacles into her pussy,
in her mouth,
and her ass. It's
wet.
like literally fucking any orifice it can, and then and only then is she like, "Oh fuck, can everybody see me?" It's like, really, that thought didn't cross your mind beforehand
when you were undressing.
Like, sure, when you were undressing, but when like tentacles were creeping up your legs, like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it just seems like a little late to me to be worried about like everything. And then she's like talking about the rhythm of DP, you know.
Ass and cunt.
Yeah, DP.
It's very
double penetration.
No, just the language is just very crude.
It's a little shockingly crude
Yeah,
given
relative.
the setting of the
Right.
words.
And she's also supposed to be a doctor,
She's supposed to be a
well-educated. Can you
yeah,
come
like a
up with some better
scientist.
words than ass and
She's
cunt?
like, my rectum and my vagina.
Still be better.
No, would it though? Like, I feel like you can't use the word vagina
It's
if
not
you're.
sexy regardless.
I mean, I guess the best term in this case I would have liked to see would be maybe like pussy. Because it's a little softer than cunt, you know?
Yeah, I just don't think cunt is a sexy word.
I think cunt works in the context of any sort of like forceful, and I don't mean like rape, but I mean like
Well,
a
yeah.
more involved, aggressive scene.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's
Well,
a shocking.
rape is a
it's not
fetish
like
too.
Yeah, it is, but but I just feel like that word lends itself better in a context that is more biting.
Right.
And pussy is
And
kind of just like I hesitate to use like a love term because it's not. It's still kind of.
Well, it just sounds softer. Pussy, cunt.
Yeah. It
Oh,
it has softer sibilants. And cunt ends with a stop plosive.
Right. I was gonna say, is that
And it
does
begins
that bother
with
you?
one as well. No, it doesn't because it's preceded by a schwa, which is like a very relaxed vowel where it is
Yeah,
like
like-
a pointed. It's more
So
focused.
clit.
Out of context, it's the worst. But like, I feel like if I'm reading it, or even if I'm reading something out loud that has it, that's sort of in the context of a romantic setting, it's not quite so bad.
Okay.
It's just when it's completely out of context. Like
Yeah.
when you're standing around a fucking campfire in the woods with a bunch of
People dressed like
grown-ups dressed like Vikings, and they're just like,
Clit,
clit,
clit.
and you're just like, dude, like this is so inappropriate linguistically. Like I just can't.
Is that the worst one? Worst word with stop plosive consonants for you?
Yeah, it's cringy. I don't even mind moist.
I don't mind moist.
Because like to me moist, when I think moist, I think of like my grandmother's writing desk where she had a moistener like specifically to put her stamps on so she didn't have to lick the stamps.
Yeah.
You know, so it was a moistener.
Moistener.
So that's like the context of moist that I grew up with, and it's just like stamps.
Right, that
like
word
stamp
doesn't
is
bother
like
me.
you know the connection that my brain makes.
The
or
clit
whatever.
also doesn't bother me at all. Clit. Clit.
Yeah. It's just got to be contextually appropriate for me to be tolerated. Also, I feel maybe I grew up like sneak reading romance novels from like the public library because my reading level was higher. So I was allowed to check from like 3rd and 4th grade. I was allowed to check out books like in the regular fantasy section instead of like the kids fantasy section.
Your parents didn't check over what you were getting.
No, nobody did. They were just like, word, like whatever you want. So I ended
Right,
up
just
reading a bunch
reading it
of
can't be
like,
bad.
right. I read a bunch of like Piers Anthony novels, who writes the most like absurd and ludicrous.
It was great
just
for your
can't-
development.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was all about word plays and like visual puns, and there was tons
This
of
is
sex.
romance?
No, there was just tons of sex in it.
Oh, okay.
But it was all very it was couched in very different language, you know, the language of like her damp cave, or like her garden, or like the petals of her flower, and like
Okay.
the nectar, and like the purple helmeted warrior of love instead of the penis, and member and shaft, and like all of that. You know what I mean? The words were never mentioned. Like
But did you know what they were talking about?
I figured it out. I wasn't an
Right.
idiot.
No,
Like-
I wouldn't have. I should have read those, and then I wouldn't have embarrassed myself as a senior in high school at the lunch table with a co-ed 15 people when I said, "What's jizz? I thought it was a form of jazz," and everyone laughed at me.
Yeah,
But I'm still doing that. What did I learn a couple weeks ago? What deep throat was?
Was it? I feel like deep throat is pretty self-explanatory.
Right, but I didn't know that people actually choke.
Oh, right. You didn't realize that like the head
That's
of the
what it
penis
meant?
goes like past the soft palate. Yeah.
That sounds traumatic. I don't know.
I feel sorry
I've
for
never
like
tried.
all of your boyfriends previous. Just
Well, now I
saying.
know.
Yeah,
That's what it
seriously.
is.
You're welcome, men. You're welcome.
Well, to be fair, I guess they didn't know. So
I feel that men are usually very polite when you give them blowjobs because they just desperately want blowjobs. So they're not gonna say anything. They're gonna be like, "Your blowjobs suck," because you're still just like sucking
I think
a dick, right? And, like,
communication's important.
thanks, Oprah. But seriously, like men are not gonna complain about bad sex to you because they just want you to keep having sex with them.
Who do they complain about it with? Their
Probably
guy
their
friends?
bros, but I don't even know
Hey,
if they complain
Scorch.
with. No, but listen, I don't know if they complain with their bros even because they don't want to admit that like they're not having like sweet sex. You know what I mean?
Scorch.
Yeah.
Do your bros complain about their women being poor at sexual activities?
No, we all just think about killing ourselves constantly.
Charming.
All right. Were you on mic for that one? All right. Well, let's go on.
Indeed. So she's getting tentacle penetrated. Oh, I've learned that there's a term for this, where it's consensual tentacle invasion.
What's the word?
Consenticles. It's consensual tentacle sex.
Consenticles?
Yes.
That sounds like a noun. Consenticle.
Well, that would be like the search word that you would.
That is the.
The search term that you would, look up: consensual tentacle sex.
Okay. All right. I see.
Yeah. So then he starts coming.
How did
I
you
guess?
find that? What were you looking up?
Tentacle sex.
I didn't.
Well, I wanted some context for the story.
Probably should have done a little more contextual research.
Probably. It's
do
like
I
you don't even
want
care anymore.
my algorithms to be, or my advertisements to adjust. Tentacle erotica. Oh, look at this. Hokusai 1814. I saw our Hokusai exhibit at the MFA, and there were some very interesting pieces.
Oh yeah, the squid.
Hokusai did the Great Wave. The
Yeah, I know the tsunami.
yeah.
But she also did this.
He.
Sorry.
Those look like my drawings from sorry, not ninth grade. What do you call it? College.
Oh, you mean like freshman year of college?
Freshman
instead
year of
freshman
college
year
is
of
what I
high
meant.
school? Yeah. So he's like fucking her, all of her orifices, and then he empties himself, quote unquote, into her body. His seed is bitter, and she feels it splashing against her cervix, which I am 100% convinced that is not a real thing
Hold
that
on.
happens.
So what? The seed is splashing against her cervix?
She feels it. She says she has it splash up against her cervix. And like, how do you know?
Splash.
How do you know that's happening? Like, when they put birth control devices inside of you, you barely feel that, and that's going right into your
No.
cervix wall. Like,
I thought they only put that in people who have already had babies. The IUD?
no, you
I
can,
thought that was only for postpartum or yeah.
no, you can totally get that. Like,
Oh, no thanks. I don't want anything up there.
do you like having sex?
There's pills.
No. I mean, you don't want anything up there. That
Oh,
goes
no.
up there.
Sorry, a piece of metal.
It's not metal. It's plastic.
A piece of plastic. I don't want a piece of plastic.
Okay. Your choice, I guess. Take what you can get, though. In today's administration, you know what I mean? Sorry, anyway.
Take what you can get. What do you?
I mean, like, whatever kind of birth control you can get your hands on, just, like, get it.
It's free.
Well,
Here.
for now. Yeah, in Massachusetts. Anyway, so she's like, this monster is coming inside of her, and she's lost in the pleasure of it because languages and histories are drifting across her scattered thoughts. and she's blissfully absorbing the knowledge of the ancients, I suppose. So then, like, the three that have been fucking her, like, withdraw, but others are, like, cradling her body.
I like this line. I will fill you, change you, craft your flesh to be with me. Always, always.
You don't find that creepy?
No, I like the darkness of it, the violence of it. Like, I will change your flesh.
Yeah, but
Like, I'll
before
cut
that,
you
he
open
says,
and
I saw you
rearrange
so far from here in time and place. Like, 20,000 years ago, or whenever this being came into existence, he, like, was omnipotently sorting through dates and times and past and present and future and saw her, Chloe Baruch, this skinny brown woman, like, enter his temple. And, like, he wanted her. He knew he was destined to have her. Like, there's some time causality stuff here that doesn't really make sense to me. But, like, either way, he knew that she was going to exist, and he knew that she was going to be there. So he, like, has waited for her this whole time. Like, it made it sound like he pushed humanity to create and to proceed the way that they grew as a society and a civilization.
So that 1,000 years later, they would spit out this, or 10,000 years, whatever. Spit out Chloe Baruch and send her there. And
yeah, exactly.
Just for him.
Right.
She wasn't really special.
I don't know. She's just a skinny brown woman. And then apparently he smells like smoke and sunlight, earth and rain. What does sunlight smell like?
Warm, gold.
Are those smells that you get?
Warm.
This smells so gold.
Synesthesia.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody else, like, identifies with that. You know what I mean?
There's a smell to sunlight.
Is that like when the room is too hot and you're like, because like the sun's been beaming down into it, you're like, smells a little musty in here. I don't know. Yeah, so he smells great, and she's like, oh my god, you're fucking hot. He's got black skin and like starlit eyes, because he's now taken a human form, which he has apparently, as well as tentacles. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I'll give you everything, because I've been waiting for you forever. And she's like, wow, that sounds like madness. And then he's like, this is the beginning of everything, and he kisses her. And then the next thing is like,
his beautiful mouth dipped to mine. He dipped his mouth to hers.
Yes, he kisses her. This is the implication, I believe. But then the next thing is...
These are interesting names. Archaeological survey vessel, Flinders Petrie. Log, Captain Tayusa?
I have no fucking idea.
Captain Tusa Hernandez. Ziobakuchi 9, as our records now show. And don't ask me how. Alta is working on it. The planet once known as Bearer of Light has been terraformed within a matter of minutes. Minutes! Instruments say 4 minutes, 31 seconds. However, there are now no human life signs on the surface. I must then report that as a result of the terraforming, we have lost a member of our... I don't think she knows what terraforming means.
I don't know. We've lost a member of our crew.
Dr. Chloe Baruch was a new but valued member of her team, and we sent her down alone,
right?
And she took her spacesuit off, and now she's dead. Dedicated with a thirst for knowledge that was unparalleled. She will be missed. End log. That is that really what you're putting in the log?
I suppose. And then there's just like, wait, hold on. A bunch of excerpts. So there's an excerpt from Beast Bites Book 3.
I want to read that. Beast Bites Book 3. This is the intro, just the first paragraph that she gives us. Minna Anson has become a womb for hire. She just didn't expect her interested mate to come with a tail, fangs, and fur. Ellipses. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but
how about this? The Stable Girl. The Emperor's Stallions, Book 1. The warning was to stay away, far away, from the Emperor's stables during the hours of darkness. But I didn't listen. Then my curiosity always got me into so much trouble. This night would be no different. And then, like,
here we go.
Cravings.
Taboo Shifter Sex, Book 1. Reva Stern has forbidden dreams of lusty wolves. A certain alien race is going to make that dream deliciously real. Alien abduction, MFM, unprotected sex, monsters, monster cock, dubious consent, mating bond, virgin, voyeur, sex in shifted form, alien breeding. Wow, this is everything you need.
Wait, I think we need to read this one. Yo, maybe Brandon would like to read this book with us.
I think so.
All right, hold on. Let's pull it up. I can
Wait,
read.
taboo
It's
shifter
39
sex?
pages. It's 39 pages.
Wolf's cravings. Oh, okay.
I can read it for free, which I totally will. There are 4 books in this series. Wolf's cravings, dragon's need, minotaur's hunger, snow beast's urge. Okay, so realistically, you're paying anywhere from 99 cents to $1 to $2 basically for 39 pages of book. Like $1 per 39 pages. That seems like kind of a ripoff to me.
Yeah, well, it's free on Unlimited.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just saying for I don't know, for serious readers such as myself. I just feel like that's not like I chewed this thing up and I don't know, how long do you think it took me to read it, Scorch?
15, 20 minutes.
15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I read
I read
this.
it on my lunch break and chatted with my coworker for half the break. So
Yeah, like
that's 15 minutes, maybe.
yeah, it was nothing to read. In fact, I was shocked or surprised, but not both at the same time, that like the book ended at 56% because the other half of the book was just excerpts from other books.
I couldn't get past the womb
cat
for
one.
hire, having
Womb for hire.
fur and tail mate. So, but this one, I can't wait to read about dubious consent. This is going to be good.
He's gonna. Wow.
Ophelia.
Hold on. I'm going to wait. What happens when you send somebody a free sample? Like, how is this?
Send a free sample.
Hey, Mom. I hope you enjoy this sample.
My mother reads the books that I saved to the
I know.
Kindle.
She's supposed to come on and talk about scat
She read the scat one.
fetishism. Yeah. Is that the one we're reading next week?
What are we reading next week, Scorch?
We are reading Lux, a Glamorous A&D.
Oh, yeah. The Asian man,
Oh,
black woman.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. We'll add Wolf's Cravings, Taboo Shifter Sex to the week when Brandon's going to be on.
Wolf Cravings.
Wolf's Cravings, Taboo Shifter Sex.
We got 48 minutes, by the way.
Cool.
Well,
I mean, we've pretty
we've
much
read a lot of
exhausted.
shifting.
I know. I'm still waiting for book 2 of the Honey Badger series to come out.
It's not out yet?
I think it comes out in February. Hold on, let me check.
Well, we'll have to read it when it comes out.
Honey Badger. What was it called? Wait, who was the author? Her name started with an L, didn't it? Honey Badger I'm just gonna type Honey Badger romance and see what comes up. Hot and Badgered. Oh shit, the second one is out.
Oh, it's out?
In a Badger Way, the Honey Badger Chronicles, book 2 by Shelley Lawrenston. I knew it. It was an L name. Oh, and this one's 400 pages? Holy shit. She just stepped her pussy up. She was like...
Which one's this about?
This is about Stevie, right?
It's Stevie?
Yeah. Petite, kind, brilliant, and young. Stevie is nothing like the usual women bodyguard Shen Li is. Oh, Shen Li's the panda shifter, remember?
Aww.
And she thinks he's adorable, so she hugs him all the time. And he's just like, I don't know what to do. What's happening right now?
Well, she gets anxious, turns into a tiger beast monster, and hides in cabinets.
It's like a tiger, a were-tiger honey badger.
Tiger.
That's
She's
like
got
10
3
feet
different color
long.
stripes.
Yeah,
black
yeah,
and white
huge
and orange.
claws. She
Yeah.
can crawl up walls and hang onto ceilings and
But
stuff.
she's just nervous wreck all the time.
Oh my god, yeah. All right, I'm gonna bookmark this book.
400 pages.
Oh, wait,
Better-
no.
Is it on audiobook?
Pre-order. It's pre-order. It's on
Pre-order.
pre-order.
Okay,
It comes out
the
March
first one was
26th.
audiobook. Oh. You're going to have to wait.
Shucks. That's okay. I think I'll... She, that same author, Shelley Lawrenston, had like a Viking series.
What's it called?
I think it's called... Is it the Gathering series? Let me see. Yeah.
The Gathering of what?
No, The Gathering, book 1. Hunting season. Here we
Or they
go.
wear bear shapeshift.
Nisi Lawrence, winged warrior for a Viking goddess and second in command of the fierce crows, doesn't know what to do with a nice guy.
What?
As it is, making up for a past she'd sooner forget leaves her barely polite most days. But Raven leader and loyal Odin warrior Will Yeager just isn't nice. Oh, isn't just nice. He's gorgeous, hot, and a distraction she simply can't afford. I'm confused about how...
Are they crow raven shapeshifters?
I don't know. I can't tell. I think, like, she
What's the
must
picture?
be... It's just a dude, like a ripped fucking dude.
They're all.
No, but this dude is, like, more ripped than normal, and his traps are, like, huge. They go all the way up to his ears.
That's not even attractive.
I guess you're just not into Vikings. Whatever.
They're
Anyway.
always ripped, and they're always filthy, disgustingly rich.
Wait, this alien wasn't. He wasn't rich or ripped.
But he knows everything, and he created human civilization, apparently, or something like that.
Apparently, we have SAR to thank for civilization.
So he's pretty successful,
Thanks,
regardless.
SAR. This was a weird one.
He's got gold.
You know what? I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3 bleeding hearts out of 5.
For 27 pages, totally. And, like, this genre, I like this genre. I would like to read one that was well written in this genre.
It's what, space tentacle?
Space, like
We'll
a
find
little
another one.
cosmic horror elements, a little bit of alien.
Hold on. I wonder what happens if I just type in space tentacle romance.
It's not the tentacle thing.
You
I
like
swear.
it.
No, it's
You're
the,
into it.
It's the cosmic horror element. It's not It's not the tentacles. I swear.
XXX Experiment, Book 3, Snatched, science fiction, romance, space alien, Cthulhu, tentacles, fantasy, short story
Okay.
series.
Okay, something like that. But find one well written.
Oh, Alien Arena, deep space horror romance.
Yep. Horror, romance. Alien.
Dude, it has 5 stars from one person.
That and
Here's
gory
here's
violence,
the
it's
here's
all
the
on you.
review. This story was exciting, lots of action, only a few typos. Grammar was excellent in futuristic setting.
Grammar was excellent.
Love the plot's twists and turns. Oh, and lots of blood, gore, and sex.
You shouldn't have to mention the grammar on our book review.
But look, this is another one that's only, what is it? No, come on, show me. 37 pages long. It's like, I'm tired of reading this
They're quick
garbage of
fixes.
like people who are like, I'm writing a romance.
Where's your romance?
I mean, I'm just saying I've written fan fictions that are like this long, you know, that have sexual content in them, but I'm not fucking publishing them, you know? Like, I just feel as though it's misleading to call it
Are
a
they
book.
anime fan fictions?
Wait, how about some gay romance featuring aliens? Bone Rider.
Is it gay if it's about aliens? Do they have the same sexes that humans do?
I don't know.
It's
Gravitational attraction. An unauthorized field guide to the hunt. I was an alien cat toy. I've got to. Oh my god. Wow, lots of good ratings.
pretty like a lot of these terrible garbage trash novellas we've read have had good reviews.
I know, it's crazy.
I wonder what her Tentacle God's reviews are. Did you look? 3 reviews.
Yeah. I mean, it's just sort of silly to me. Amber Foy likes to play with monsters. Who doesn't? Well, when they have horse and cat penises, this girl, hello, like, just saying. Although I do I'd be interested to read Demon Orgy, Her Dragon King, The Horned One, A Winter Story, Dinosaur Lust, Lost Worlds, Book 1. Well, there was another one. Oh, The Manticore's Mate. Like, how are you going to write having sex with a manticore? Like, I'm genuinely interested in this. Like, I might need to do some extracurricular work.
I don't think she does her research though. She'll make it happen, but it won't be mythologically.
What can Dr. Lacey Abbott, xenobiologist, surveyor, and currently trapped under the paws of a wicked and lascivious beast, do other than say, "Thank you"?
I really want to know what Amber Foy is like.
Excerpt: The beast licked me from cunt to ass, twisting its wet, rough tongue into the cleft. Okay.
She likes her cunts and asses.
No. She's like saying no.
She likes her dubious consent.
I know, right? The great bulk of its furry head, that bestial mouth, and insanely delicious tongue. Okay. Yeah, we've definitely opened a can of worms on that genre, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to revisit it at some point, but
We'll revisit Amber Foy.
I'm sure we will. We're planning on doing so in February, so yeah, I think so. I gave it 3 for pure entertainment value, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't the shittiest book that we've ever read.
I laughed a couple times.
I laughed. I was deliciously shocked. It was good, you know. A little window into the
I like the
tentacle
genre.
world. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I would have been okay if it was like an enchanted, like, bush creature, like from a fantasy world instead of like a sci-fi world.
I like the
but
sci-fi
I wasn't
worlds.
bothered by it
Yeah.
in this context. Like,
I liked it better than Rescued by Qui-Gon, which you didn't read.
I was too busy reading the centaur one. Okay, God, which did not have bestiality in it, for the record. What? They don't like do it in
I know,
animal
not in
form.
horse
And
form.
in that woman's universe, sex in animal form is frowned upon. But clearly in Amber Foy's universe, like, dude, you don't even have
It's
to be the same
encouraged.
species. Fuck it. Like,
You don't even need to consent.
right? Yeah. Dubious consent. Like, I'm gonna say no, and I kind of mean yes, but like, definitely stick your cat penis into me.
On that note,
Yeah, right. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in Fridays at 8 o'clock to see us, and I don't know, leave us a review, a good one on iTunes. Thanks.
good night.
We tried to catch you